It's Oriannarosa Royal here from Fortune. I'm here for an exciting day at the Fortune CEO Forum, where we'll be hearing from top CEOs about AI, innovation, the future of work, and most importantly, we'll be discussing the newly released Fortune 500 Europe list. Now it's Chatham House rule, but don't worry, I'll be pulling some top executives aside to hear what's top of their mind. Hello everyone. I want to thank you for tuning in when NVIDIA CEO is on the other stage, so thank you for coming. How would you make the case for the office in a room full of digital nomads? Good luck.
I kind of hoped at this point I'd done it. Fundamentally, if going back to COVID, which we don't like to talk about, but every individual person that worked from home created their own working space, which was personal to them. So if you're an employer today, you're competing with somebody who made their own perfect workspace.
I love that. Employers are competing with their workers' best setup ever. How is WeWork specifically competing then? What are you guys doing to bring people in?
So it's a great question. So I think it goes, if you apply to work at our company, you shouldn't be shocked that we expect you to be in the product you're trying to sell, right? So you maybe didn't quite read the brief of the job. So
startups often start thinking about ESG when they're beginning to scale. Why is that wrong? What are the risks of starting too late?
Culture is so hard to move and create and build. You have to start from the beginning.
And in your role as a climate activist, you've worked with policymakers, tech giants, as you mentioned. Is ESG all talk? Do investors actually care?
More and more, they really are.
Salome, we have an investor on the panel. Do you agree? Have you passed up on any startups because they weren't prioritizing ESG?
Yeah, so maybe two things. So, of course, we've passed on startups because they were red flags.
Or shake away that image that they are for upper class white women of a certain size.
Because when we're talking about diversity and inclusion here, we're talking about people of all different shapes and sizes, genders, races, everything being included in their campaigns. And we hear this time and time again with companies now who are trying to drive inclusivity efforts. The phrase, go woke, go broke. People say they'll boycott companies if they do this. Do you think this is a phase that we're going through, that companies are pushing it too far and people are boycotting, or that people will begin to accept diversity and inclusion efforts?
If you look at Lululemon, people have called their efforts tokenistic. On the outside, it seems like they have put effort in to be more inclusive, and it's paid off. Shareholders' share price, has surged. However, internally, employees have come forward and said that the company is not inclusive, it doesn't feel welcoming to Black employees. But as someone who doesn't work there, it's hard to know really what's going on. I think these, as I said, comments are certainly rare. You don't hear CEOs often coming out and saying such divisive comments because it can upset shareholders and attract negative attention. So you've gone from NFL quarterback to activist to founder. What are some of the skills from those earlier chapters that you've taken into this venture with you?
Yeah, when I think about the role of being a CEO and founder and some of the past work that I've done, there's a lot of crossover. I would say the biggest thing is when you think about leading a team or leading an organization is making sure that you have the right people on that journey with you. We see this very clearly in the NFL, that you can have a great game plan, but if you don't have the right players on the field in the right position, that game plan doesn't work.
You want to talk about work ethic? He got his from Kobe Bryant, so I can't compete with that.
You told me you don't believe in work-life balance. Your kids come with you to work. Let's share more on that.
I'm inspired by Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's getting to the basketball gym at 5 a.m. and I thought I was working hard. And sometimes it reassures you that there's always somebody out there working harder.